Thank you for listening and welcome to the Life Podcast, a proud member of the Eventide Entertainment Podcast Network. I'm your host, Don Smith. Porn star name generator Kyle Steele sticks around for a bit more fun and laughs and to fill in for a guest that couldn't make it to the show. We discuss a bunch of news stories. If you enjoy the show, like and follow The Life 1069 on Facebook and Don Smith Comedy on Twitter, or tune in live on Wednesdays from noon to 2 p.m. on WWSU 106.9 FM, or you can stream the show live at wwsu1069.org.
The brutal presence overwhelms me. The brutal presence overwhelms me.
All right, we're back on The Life. I'm your host, Don Smith. This is The Life Radio Show, because I say so. And my guest in the studio is Kyle Steele from Nicolas Cage podcast, Movie Review Hour podcast. What do we got here? We're going to hit some news stories. Wow, that's...
Well, so read the back of his shirt. So the photos of a Jets fan, and he's wearing a shirt that says "I stand for the flag," or "I stand for the national anthem," and he is sitting on an American flag.
Yeah,
and so obviously it's making its rounds. But there was a much bigger deal in this picture. If you zoom in on it, and if you look right there in the right, he is drinking a beer with a straw.
Yeah, there's something totally wrong with him right there.
So if you really think the problem is him sitting on the flag, then you're not a beer drinker. Why another human being is drinking a beer with a straw, another adult is drinking a beer with a straw, is just...
Maybe his sippy cup
that's
was
like
broken.
Serial killer stuff. I mean, drinking a beer with a straw, that is...
Yeah,
that makes me think you have...
Funny.
There's something in your basement, because that's insane.
Yeah, that's... Yeah, he's kind of sending a mixed message there with the with the other part
with
of it.
The shirt,
yeah,
with the part that actually matters. Yeah, with the shirt and the that's a little. If you want to get, we can get into that if you'd like. But
no, we probably shouldn't. That that never goes to a good place. Right. We'll hit some other news. This is a little bit late, but it was just last Friday the 13th.
Yep.
Friday the 13th isn't an unlucky day unless you have, let's see if I can say it, frigatriskaidekaphobia.
Sure.
Which is actually, that's the term psychologists
Pretty sure you nailed it.
Have given to a small number of people who are afraid of Friday the 13th. It's named Frigga from the North god whom Friday is named. The triskaidekaphobia, whatever, is the fear of the number 13. So yeah, there you go. If being labeled with the term scares you, then you can say you suffer from something else. Yeah,
so there's the fear of the term.
This is like a 112-letter word.
Wow.
And that's Paris could. I'm not even going to try it.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to try it. So why do we need these words?
These labels?
I mean, can't we?
Well, that's a big problem. That's a big thing right now, right? Which is like everyone has to they're trying to put themselves in groups.
Yeah,
because it's just human nature.
Even if there are fewer people in the group than there are letters in the word that describes that group,
sure.
You still have to label.
That seems like it's unnecessary.
Right.
Yeah, it seems like the word is longer than the size of the group. Yeah. No,
I mean, because I
think you're right about that. I think that's probably true.
I really can't think of a lot of people that I know that actually have a fear of being labeled as a frigatriskaidekaphobic.
I would say zero.
I don't know anybody that. Yeah. I mean, I could see somebody that.
I mean, there's got to be one, or it wouldn't
people
exist.
that are afraid of Friday the 13th. As far as them releasing another movie, that's a fear I have too.
Yeah.
Because I think they've gone too far. But to be labeled as to have the fear of being labeled as having that fear.
Yeah.
Can you have the fear of being labeled with that without having the fear?
I was going to say that's like where this becomes the conception at that point.
Yes.
Like a fear of having the fear of having the fear.
Right. Well, just
and then inside it, there's a top
just having
spinning.
the fear of people mislabeling you with that fear.
That's what I'm saying.
That's terrible.
This becomes a whole. This is the whole thing. This becomes a whole thing.
Yeah, that's. Well, I guess if you're already seeing a psychologist, you should probably go ahead and keep doing that.
Yeah.
Because that's. Anyway, McDonald's managed to upset boatloads of Rick and Morty fans by not having enough
Szechuan
Szechuan
sauce.
sauce
I
last
knew it.
Saturday. But one Michigan woman has a sweet taste of victory. Rachel Marie of Macomb not only managed to snag one of only 20 packets of the super rare sauce, but she managed to parlay it into a car. She said, when McDonald's said they were bringing it back, I thought it would be cool to get the sauce. The 23-year-old graphic designer drove 45 minutes to Detroit early in the morning and waited hours until the sauces became available around 2 p.m. She said by the time that happened, there were hundreds of people waiting. The line snaked around the building. The McDonald's location only had 20 packets available, but both Marie and one of her friends were among the lucky tastemakers who got the sauce. She said she was tempted to try it while watching the episode as some kind of weird thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've never watched it, but
It's I know the creator's Dan Harmon, who was the creator of a show called Community, which was like one of my favorite shows
I think
ever.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
But she said she was tempted to try it, but that is until she got the idea to post a photo of the sauce packet on Pin Nation, a Facebook group dedicated to trading pins, PIN, little pins. She said there were a large response with some nice pins offered, but she thought if she could get a car, why not ask? The driven negotiator managed to find a person willing to trade the single Szechuan sauce packet for a 2000 Volkswagen Golf MK4.
Wow.
Trading a car for a packet of McDonald's
Good for
Szechuan
her.
sauce.
Good for her.
Yeah, that's I guess if people are dumb enough to
Guys,
go for
if
it,
anyone
why
has a
not?
problem with capitalism, that's why we have it.
Yes,
Right
yeah.
there.
So you can
That's
trade your car for a packet of Szechuan sauce.
That's it. That's
As,
it. That's why we got this.
Why doesn't why doesn't McDonald's just make more? Is it just trying
Because
to
they're
get
certainly not
everybody?
making money. I think what they did is they didn't realize that it wasn't going to just be this small group of people who were like fans of Rick and Morty. That other people who've never seen Rick and Morty
would want to try
just
the sauce.
well, and they just get on with these weird things that start happening. It was like that dumb thing. I think it was a local comic that did it. The Limp Bizkit.
Limp Bizkit at the Sunoco.
At the Sunoco.
Yeah,
Right.
that could be.
People
a weird thing
just bounce on.
caught
They
yeah.
just get onto it because it's weird and it's funny and whatever.
Yeah, every now and then you'll see somebody trying to bring the Limp Bizkit thing back.
Oh yeah, and it's
Yeah.
because it was funny. People would post it when they first did it. Right when they first did it, people would post in there and be like, "Guys, you know that Limp Bizkit's not actually coming."
Yeah,
and people
because
would comment.
everybody bought it.
People would comment on it and be like, "Guys, this is a Limp Bizkit. They're like Limp Bizkit's really trying to keep it on the DL. Like this is a paid chill." I mean, it's like it got so out of control. It's so funny. And then after everything, everyone's posting pictures of Limp Bizkit being at Sunoco and like, dude, it was such a great show. We loved it. And, I mean, it became like photoshopped. But it was people just like to be in on the joke.
Right.
So the response with the Szechuan sauce went way past Rick and Morty and became this thing where people are jumping onto this. So hundreds of thousands of people are now lining up at stores across the country. And McDonald's is like, oh, well, we didn't know. We just made like a couple hundred of them and called it a day. So I don't know. I don't know what they're.
And that could have been a publicity thing,
Could have been too.
Because you tell somebody something's rare, they're going to be much more likely to show up to try to find it.
I'll tell you right now, I don't even know what Szechuan sauce is. I have no idea.
Me
I assume people like it just because of the name.
Szechuan?
Szechuan?
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Well,
have
you
no
can
idea.
say it drunk.
What even
Nobody
is
will
it?
know.
Is it like an
Yeah.
Asian? Is it like a soy?
I believe so. Yeah.
Something?
Well, I'm sure that's where they based it. That's what they based it on. But it's probably nothing. You probably ask somebody from you probably ask an Asian person. They have no idea what the hell it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I had never heard of it until this whole thing happened. So again, it's all publicity.
Yeah.
That's all
There
it
you
is.
go. That's McDonald's. McDonald's is definitely into the publicity.
They're good at it.
Yeah, they are. They are. That's which is good because they're not good at making food. That's,
So at least you got to be good at promoting it.
Maybe that's what's so special about the sauce is it actually makes McDonald's taste like food.
Yeah. Well, it's this, and it's also I heard Gary. I talked about this the other day actually for some reason. But it's this idea that so take Uber for instance. I mean, do you think Uber was the first thing that existed that people would use an app to call for independent contractor taxis? No, it wasn't even close to being the first.
Yeah,
It's all about how you promote. It's all about execution. Uber was the first person or was the first company to execute that idea properly, right? So Same thing with McDonald's. McDonald's isn't very good. It's not even the best of the fast food chains.
But it's the business model.
But the way that they execute everything they do is flawless. Just about.
So
it's going to
work. Should have had more sauce.
Should have had more Szechuan.
Szechuan.
Or they made the exact right decision by not having enough.
Right.
Because they took what would have been talked about for a week, and now it's going to be talked about for a month.
Right. Because I'm sure all these people snaked around that building waiting to get one of 20 packets of Szechuan sauce.
Back.
Well, besides, they didn't go away.
No.
They didn't. Oh, there's no sauce, and they all left. No, they all bought a burger. They bought something. So that's yeah. That's what I need to do. Is I need to tell people that they're not allowed to listen to my show, or we can only have 2 listeners at a time.
You and me both.
And then everybody's going to line up to do it.
Yeah, I'll start telling people that we can only have 2 listeners at a time, so that way those 2 listeners that we have at any given point,
right.
We'll be excited.
They're like, hey, we're the only ones.
There it is.
It's okay. You already are.
Yeah.
You're already the only 2 people listening. So, an elephant washed out to sea on Tuesday has been rescued by the Sri Lankan Navy, which I did not know Sri Lanka had a navy. Did you know that?
Sure.
Yeah. Lieutenant Commander Chimanda Walakulugi.
Okay.
I got to get this right.
Yeah.
Said that
I was going to correct you, but I was embarrassed for you.
Yeah.
So I just didn't correct you.
I apologize to Mr. Walakulugi. He said that the Navy embarked on the rescue mission when people spotted the animal struggling to stay afloat several miles from the island's northeast coast. Navy personnel told The Guardian that the elephant was caught in the current off the coast near the town of Kokalai.
Sure.
I think that one's right.
Sure.
And dragged into the ocean where it was spotted during a routine patrol. The rescue team approached the distressed elephant, tied ropes to it, and gently guided it to shallow waters. They then handed the elephant over to wildlife officials. So it was caught and then imprisoned. That poor elephant. It was just going for a swim.
Right.
Avinash Krishnan, a research officer with the conversation group Aroka. It's all kinds of. Why do I pick stories with names?
I don't know.
Anyway, told The Guardian that
you also do a lot of animal stories.
I do. Finding an elephant in the ocean is not as odd as it seems. They're very good swimmers. Swimming about 9 miles from the shore is not unusual for an elephant. I never would have thought.
Yeah.
I wonder how they are as surfers. I wonder if they. If they go that far out, they might as well,
do something with it.
Yeah. Do some surfing. Oh, well, that went nowhere. Okay.
Wasn't really sure where to take it.
Yeah, well, it's an elephant at sea. That happens. There you go. Well, it's just news stories. You don't have to have a take on it one way or
right.
another, I guess. Even as states continue to push for recreational marijuana use, now that's something we got to use for.
There we go.
2016 saw a shocking increase in drug arrests, with marijuana arrests at the forefront. How bad is it? By the time I finish reading this, someone will likely be in handcuffs for weed-related charges. Just hope it ain't me.
Yeah.
New data released by the FBI's Uniform Crime Report on Monday gives a breakdown of an estimated number of total arrests in 2016. Among the data are drug abuse violations, which saw more than 1.5 million people arrested, up nearly 100,000 more arrests from 2015. Curiously, marijuana arrests are not immediately available on the otherwise helpful columns of data. Reporters who requested the data, including Forbes reporter Tom Angle and Washington Post reporter Christopher Ingram, quickly saw the marijuana arrests have risen since 2015. 5% of all arrests last year were specifically due to marijuana possession, according to the Washington Post. All arrests related to marijuana made up more than 41% of the 1.5 million drug arrests last year.
I think Daniel Tosh said the joke, and he said, I want marijuana legal in all 50 states so that way potheads have nothing to talk about ever again. And that's kind of hard because I don't smoke.
Just relax.
I don't smoke pot. I have no interest in it. I did when I was like a kid, but it started giving me like panic attacks. So it's something I just have no interest in even.
So you kind of want to go back to the time when potheads didn't have an issue in the forefront.
The problem is that if it's illegal, it will always be something that's talked about until it's just made fully legal. it's just we're just keep wasting time talking about this.
Yeah,
thing. It's just like, the problem is I struggle in why anybody actually cares. That's where why does anyone, not the people I'm saying against it, the people who are against its legalization, why do you really legitimately care? Because I can't think of an argument.
Because they were told
because it's a gateway. Well, I'm trying to be realistic. What realistically? What's the real conservative
They were told
argument?
It was a gateway.
Sure,
they were told that a long time ago, and they just continue to believe.
Well, and the problem is it's not a gateway as much as it's the same person that would have a propensity to gravitate towards marijuana. It's the same person who would gravitate toward heroin potentially, right?
And not necessarily.
No. What I'm saying is that if you gravitate towards something like heroin, okay. It's not.
Yeah. You'll find your way
you'll
there.
Probably
without
smoke
the weed.
pot too. You'll probably smoke pot too, right? And maybe that is quote where you will start, but it's starting there didn't lead you to heroin.
Right.
You were always going to do heroin, right?
Yeah, you were predestined.
You were already doing that thing. That thing
user.
wasn't changing. You might have smoked pot first, but that's not what led you to that thing. So I think that's where we have this issue with gateway drugs, because it's like...
Right, because, so far as I'm concerned, one thing that is probably common with all heroin users and all heavy drug users is at some point they wore diapers. Maybe that's the gateway.
Yeah. Well, and it's this idea of
diaper rash is the...
Well, it's this idea of like most car accidents are you've left your house at some point that day.
Yeah.
So the gateway to a car accident is leaving your house.
Most car accidents occur outside of the home.
It's not a gate. It's not
Although
a gateway.
If you ask Kyle Westray, he keeps track of the ones that don't.
Yeah, sure. But it's not a gateway as much as it's, again, if you have a propensity to do any drug, you're probably also smoking pot. It's because it's of all the drugs, it's kind of the one that's the least. You can just kind of do it whenever, and it's not really, if you're shooting up or if you're snorting or whatever, like you have to kind of pick times and places for that kind of thing. If you're still like in the public light,
right?
Pot, you could smoke in your car on the way to somewhere and spray yourself with Axe and call it a day. You could still function, right? So I think it's just a lot more people use it because of that, and I think it has positive effects for people, for sure. Especially people who are sick. It helps with calming stomachs down and
I never could function that well with it.
I don't
because that's been years and years.
I don't
years,
smoke,
but I just never.
Listen,
could function.
If marijuana is legalized tomorrow, I'm still not smoking. I have no desire to do it. And if I wanted to smoke pot, here's what I can guarantee you: it being illegal is not going to stop me.
Right.
I have 100 friends I can get it from right now. It's not complicated. So the fact that it's illegal, you're creating this problem that doesn't need to be there.
Right.
And again, this is such a banal, everyone's had the same conversation, and I get it. But
see, and maybe you just don't realize that Nicolas Cage movies are also a gateway.
Sure.
So who knows? You might be strung out.
I will say one of the last times that I was high, because this was, it's been, like I said, it's been a long time. It's been probably, I don't know, I'm not going to date it, but it's been a long time.
Like weeks.
it's been a day or two.
It's
been a really long time. But yeah, probably one of the last times I had smoked pot. I had watched The Wizard of Oz with Dark Side of the Moon.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know if you've heard of this.
Yes, I have.
So
I've never tried it.
I don't know if it was just the psychotropic effect because pot is a psychotropic. I'm pretty sure it's a mild hallucinogen.
Right.
Now listen, that doesn't mean when you smoke pot you're seeing stuff, but it is by definition, I think, a psychotropic, just a very, very baseline. But anyway, so it's crazy. Like I'm not going to lie. I need to do it now, as like an adult, because I was not an adult when I did this. I need to do it as an adult and watch it completely sober.
See, completely sober.
Completely sober.
I thought you said you need to do it.
No, I need to do it as...
You just said you had no desire.
No,
but now
I need to watch this completely sober, because my recollection of that is that it was
amazing.
Crazy. It was like, there's the part at one of the end of the songs where the planes are flying back and forth and Dorothy's eyes are following the planes, and like there's a heart beat sounding, and it matches up with a Tin Man pounding on his chest. It's just crazy. Right when the song Money starts is right when the door opens, when it lands in Oz. It's just crazy. It's crazy stuff that, like, I don't know why this stuff is matching up. So I need to watch it as an adult, so that way I can see, like, sober, because I don't do any drugs.
Sober adult,
so as a sober adult, I need to watch that movie again and watch those two things synced up. So, Don, you're welcome to come over and enjoy.
We're going to have to. You're welcome to try that.
We'll see.
Well, it's been a while for me.
Yeah.
See, because I hadn't done it in a
no
long
drug
time.
use. No, again, to be clear, partake in watching the movie, not partake in drug use.
There was a video on YouTube. Somebody posted it. This was like the years ago. Well, not that long, but I hadn't done it in years, and I smoked a little one night, long time back, and there was this video that somebody put up of Bob Ross, where they did like a mosaic where it was the actual video, but the mosaic was with all bugs. So he just had all, it was all bug Bob Ross doing the joy of painting, but you couldn't understand what he was saying. It was all distorted, and it was just all these bugs moving around that did a mosaic of him. And you talk about something you should not watch. You hadn't smoked in a long time. And that was... Man, I was like, I'm done with this, man. I can't do it.
God.
But I watched the whole video. It was,
sure.
It was about 15 minutes long.
Sure,
I watched every bit of it.
I watched a claymation video that.
And then I realized that, my wife's asleep in the other room, and I'm just giggling at this thing like an idiot. And I'm thinking, yep, that's why I don't do this.
Yeah. Yep.
So, yeah, it's not a gateway to me. It's like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to news. Now that the confessions of a pothead. Former. Yeah. Recovered. Here we go. I don't remember a lot of these news stories. A New Mexico man is accused of stripping naked and speeding off in a police cruiser. Footage recorded on July 4th by Curry County deputies body camera shows the deputy attempting to reason with the suspect, later identified as Jesus Durango, 37 years old. The deputy tries to convince Durango to sit on the grass on the side of the road of State Road 245. Instead, the suspect does his best to flag down a passing vehicle. Moments later, Durango is off and running. The deputy shouts, "Hey, get out of there!" as the naked man climbs into the police cruiser and speeds away. The deputy reports, "He's stolen my unit. He's taken off eastbound in my unit."
In my unit.
The naked man has stolen my unit. That must be why I put that story on.
Because of that line, the naked man stole my unit. Yeah, that is exactly why that is exactly why you put that story in there.
If I had a nickel for every time a naked man ran off with my unit.
Tainton.
Tainton. On that note, I think it's time for a little more Potter's Field, a little more music, and take another break. I got to run down the hall again.
Sure,
it's a hall kind of day.
Yep.
All right, and like I keep saying, anybody listening that wants to go see Mike Paramore this weekend, hit me up. You got a half hour left to get free tickets. All right, we'll be back here shortly. Here's this week's Comedy Rundown, brought to you by the legendary Wiley's Comedy Club at 101 Pine Street in Dayton's historic Oregon District. Call 224-JOKE or go to wileyscomedy.com for all the best in Dayton comedy. Tuesday, October 24th, the Funniest Person in Southeast Kettering Contest Finals at Cat's Lounge at 1221 East Stroop Road in Kettering. That show starts at 9 p.m. Thursday, October 26th, the Nicolas Cage Movie Review Hour podcast is a live recording at Wiley's Comedy Club at 101 Pine Street in Dayton's Oregon District. Doors open at 7 p.m., and the Nick Cage movie will be Vampire's Kiss. Friday, October 27th, the Dead Comedian Society at the legendary Wiley's Comedy Club for the early show at 7:15. For the late show, Wiley's welcomes Halloween with the Heathens of Comedy at 9:30. Friday and Saturday, October 27th through the 28th, Country Wayne is at the Dayton Funny Bone at 88 Plum Street at the Green. Sunday, October 29th, Dayton Funny Bone's Family Friendly Show. That is it. As always, check out Wiley'sComedy.com and DaytonFunnyBone.com for details and tickets to upcoming shows. Also, be sure to check out the Unwritten Podcast from Dayton Writers Movement, available at UnwrittenPodcast.com.
Are you into making music, videos, or podcasts? Are you a local comedic talent in need of some much-needed publicity? Are you a behind-the-scenes professional interested in audio-video production, graphic design, and public relations? Eventide Entertainment is actively seeking talents, clients, and professionals to help our business grow into something truly special. And we want you to be one of those. For more information, go to facebook.com/Eventide Entertainment or send us an email at eventideent@gmail.com.
All right, we're back on the air. This is the Life Radio Show with your host, Don Smith. Good timing, Kyle. Just came in.
What up?
Perfect timing. Now, we did have a call to get some tickets, but they're going to have to call back because I was stepped out.
Yeah.
So if you're listening, call back. Say hi. Get some tickets.
I'm about to say, can they can patch through to here?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, I'm going to put them on the air.
Do you,
because I like putting people on the air because there's always a chance that I'll get a wrong number and somebody will just go into a belligerent cussing rampage.
then you get fired.
And that's really what I'm looking to do. Because at this point, there's a lot going on, and sometimes you just want to get fired.
There's something blinking over there.
Yeah, something's blinking on there. You're on the air. This is the Life.
Don Smith, longtime fan. Me and my girlfriend want to go see the comedy show.
All right. Well, we got you a couple tickets to see Mike Paramore this weekend at Wiley's Comedy Club, not Wiley's Sunday Comics. Wiley's Comedy Club at 101 Pine Street. Well, who are you? I think I know who you are.
Well, my name's Adam.
Adam?
I'm Adam.
Okay.
Yep.
I will leave those here at the studio for you. You can pick them up anytime somebody's in here.
Oh, heck yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much, Don.
All right. Thank you. All right, giving away tickets to
I like that. That's such a cool little system.
Yeah.
Patch the call through and
yeah, isn't it fun? Don't you wish you had this? For
I
your
do.
podcast?
I wish I had this set up.
Yeah, it's kind of nice.
Oh, and these mic stands are just like.
I do have one of the mic stands like this.
Oh,
at the
I
house
have a
for
boom
my
stand.
recording.
Well,
Yeah,
listen,
so.
I have a boom stand. I don't have this. I mean,
Yeah,
this
you
is
don't
like,
have the little arm
this is like,
and all the springs.
No,
and
I
all
have.
the fancy...
No, I got this.
Okay.
This is just like industrial.
Oh yeah, it's industrial strength.
I need industrial strength.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think mine's pretty much the same. It's pretty close to these. So.
Yeah, mine are pretty cheap. I went pretty cheap with it.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you got.
I put together my own studio.
Yeah,
I put together my own studio.
Because that's what I need to do. Because I have some voiceover work coming up before too long, and I need to get everything set up in some kind of a semi-soundproof kind of way. But just a lot of work, and I got a lot of work going on.
Yeah, and I have a good setup. I mean, I have a good mixing board. I sunk at least the right amount of money into the mixing board.
Yeah.
My mics are fine. It'd be nice to upgrade, but they're fine. Really, it's the stands. My stands are just trash. And my cables are already starting to go out. My cables are really bad. I just got like the Amazon branded cables, and they're starting to go out. It's worth it just to buy Monster or something and call it a day. Get a lifelong warranty on the cables, and they're like gold plated, and just call it a day. Yeah, they're just really expensive,
nice
like
stuff.
$40 for a mic cable, and as opposed to like $8.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean,
it makes a difference when you start, when you're getting everything started.
So that's where I'm at now. I need to try to raise some money. I might do like a Patreon. I don't know. We'll see. We'll do like a little Patreon. See if I can raise.
I've been thinking about doing something.
I need to raise like $500-600, and really, that's all I need. I need $500-600, and then I can get the rest of my studio done.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, do a GoFundMe.
Somebody give me. If you're listening to this, give me $500.
Yeah, there you go. That's
be a big help.
It's not that much.
No, you'll be all right. Give it to me.
I've given more to less.
Yeah.
All right. We'll get back to some news stories.
You got more?
We got pages,
listen,
man. Got
news for days. News for days.
Absolutely. An Arizona man claims he's finally learned his lesson about messing around with snakes after getting
finally learned his lesson.
After getting bitten for the second time in his life. Victor Pratt, 48. That's stupid. Made it to be 48 years old. That's amazing. was holding a birthday party for his kid at home in Coolidge, Arizona on September 7th when he picked up a rattlesnake and began playing with it. When the kids saw it, I grabbed it, Pratt said. I showed them how to catch it, and I was playing with it like little kids do, because that's what you want, is your kid to know how to catch and play with a rattlesnake. And to encourage it. Here, grab it by this end.
Yeah.
Watch out for them teeth, fangs. After posing for several photos, Pratt lost his grip on the snake's head, and the reptile bit him on the neck and face. The snake bite veteran. That's
snake
something
bite
you
veteran?
don't want to be, is a snake bite veteran. The snake bite veteran had the presence of mind to ask friends to rush him to the hospital. I said, "We got to go now," because I knew what was going to happen, said Pratt. He was intubated and sedated.
He's a veteran.
For 5 days. Had Pratt not gotten to the hospital when he did, he could have been dead within 30 minutes, doctors say. He says, "Ain't gonna play with snakes no more."
Oh, my Lord.
Probably a good thought there.
That means he is 100% going to play with snakes
absolutely.
again.
Yeah, he said, "I've learned my lesson." Give me that.
If he's not playing with a snake right now,
I would be very surprised.
I would be shocked.
Yep, if there's another news story being written about him at this second.
At this moment.
Oh, yeah, that's great. A snake bite veteran. Of all the things you don't want to be experienced at.
That's also not a thing.
What's that? That's not a thing?
Veteran.
Yeah, I think
that's not a thing.
I think with this guy, that's a thing.
It's a thing.
That's his measure of pride.
It's like
for
being
him
a veteran
right
of getting like struck by lightning or something. It's like, you're not. That's not.
Well, the only difference is, he wasn't playing with lightning. I'm sure had there been lightning there,
he would have been posing.
He
for
would have
pictures
played
with
it.
it.
Yeah, he would have been posing for pictures
Yeah.
with a lightning rod in his hand or something. I'll catch it. Watch this, kids. At his 10-year-old. Where's he?
I just like how that's his excuse. He's like, well, kids.
Yeah, kids.
Kids
will
to play
be
with
kids.
snakes.
Didn't give an age of the kid. It just said, yes, it's kid's birthday party. Young enough to still have a birthday party. So
Sure.
yeah. Oh, Juana Escudero knows she's alive. She just can't prove it. Escudero, a 53-year-old woman from Alcalá de Guadalajara, a town outside of Seville in southern Spain, has been unable to renew her driver's license or go to the doctor since 2010 because various government officers believe she's dead, the result of a 7-year-old clerical error. On May 13th, 2010, a woman in Malaga was declared dead, and her information, including full name and date of birth, matched Lescano's exactly. This caused their Social Security information to clash, and Lescano was subsequently declared deceased. Lescano. See, somebody messed up here because there's a different name there. I didn't notice this when I first printed it out. Yeah, her name is Juana Escudero. And then it says Lescano. So, yeah, I don't know who that is.
Nope.
There's probably another person there altogether. Okay. Anyway, Escudero said she first, or whatever her name is. That's probably why they think she's dead. She's got all these different names.
If you don't know her name, they're not going to be able to figure it out.
Exactly. Anyway, this person, whoever she may be, said she first learned of the error when she visited the emergency room and her primary care physician checked her out. Her daughter, Marta, told the newspaper, he looked at her not knowing how to break it to her and told her that according to Social Security records, she was deceased.
Yeah.
The family has not found the funny side of the story for a long time now. So her doctor apparently gets his medical information from the Social Security Administration.
Oh.
Because that's what, according to her doctor said, according to your Social Security.
But I wonder if
deceased.
it's because they report it. I wonder if they report it to like family doctors and that kind of stuff.
It could be, yeah.
So they send like a mass thing out.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, you'd think they have some type
that
of
would
connection.
be kind of rough to go walking perfectly healthy into your doctor only to find out you're dead.
I watched this. There's a new show on Amazon called Lore, and the first episode was all about the instances of being buried alive. So it's all real stuff. It's all real. They do a lot of like reenactments and stuff, and pretty fascinating stuff. There was a whole bunch of stuff that was invented in like I want to say 1800s, 1700s, 1800s, where because it was becoming
Right.
a problem.
Oh, yeah.
Being buried
that
alive.
was Edgar Allan Poe. That was his biggest fear, a man that wrote about fear and all of his horror stuff. Yeah, that was his biggest fear, was being buried alive.
And so because in that time, I mean, they were literally inventing things, little strings that were attached to all of your, attached to your head and all your fingers and your toes and all that kind of stuff. So that way, and there was a bell at the top. So there was the phrase "saved by the bell" refers to
being buried alive.
literally
That's
being buried
fantastic.
alive, causing a bell to ring, and you're saved by because people hear that bell. They dig you up real quick.
Yeah. Wait a minute.
Pretty crazy how far we've come.
See, that's why we just embalm people now. That way there's no
Call it a
mistakes.
day.
It's
Yeah,
like,
there's no
well,
mistakes. You
ain't
cut someone
coming back
open
from
and
this.
nope, you ain't coming back. That's it. If you were alive, no mo.
We'll take care of it.
Not
we'll
no
take
mo.
care of it. Yeah, it's nice not
We'll
to be.
take care of it for
I'd
you.
rather just have all my blood drained and replaced with some random fluid,
Sure.
rather than be buried alive, because
Sure.
that was one would happen a little faster than the other. Being buried alive, you're going to suffocate, and it's got to be a terrible.
That's not a thing I want to do.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I won't say it's my big, but it's a big fear of mine.
It's a big fear of mine is just it's not death in general, but it's like if I am gonna die, I would rather die just have a heart attack.
Right.
It's called death.
Right. Let's get it done.
Yeah, I mean, let's just do it. I'm not into like the drowning or like something crashing, unless it's like a quick crash.
Yeah.
So if I'm driving like a semi blindsides me, whatever, I'm not gonna know. I have no idea what just happened.
Yeah, exactly.
But like the
It's just
agonizing stuff, that's my fear. I don't want to die like in some type of agonizing way.
right.
Like the thought of dying in a fire, like that's not a thing I'm trying to do.
Yeah,
No one's trying to do it unless like there's some
Well,
monks.
yes.
There are others like monks and stuff.
self-immolation.
There's self-immolation, but yeah, for the most part, people aren't trying to do that. But I'm just like, man, if I could,
your average person.
I don't know who I got to
isn't
talk
thinking
to, but
that's
if
the
you
way
could
to
just
go.
kind of get me out of here quick, I mean, that's kind of all I can ask for. At any age at that point, I mean, if I knew that it could be
Well,
quick,
I'd imagine with the self-immolation, you're in so much shock, you're not really
you're probably not feeling
registering
too
the
much.
pain. Yeah.
You're probably not feeling too much.
I mean, I
really.
don't know. I haven't done it, clearly. But I'd be a little
I was just
crispier.
going to say you look like you've self-immolated, but
Well, it depends on which angle you're looking. That's
why-
only parts of me.
that's why on all your Instagram photos you're
Yeah.
slightly looking to the right. That's
Yeah, I do remember being at parties drunk and lighting farts, but that's as close as I've gotten to self-immolation.
I have 100% done that.
Who hasn't?
Who hasn't, right? Who hasn't?
Yeah, if you haven't lit a fart,
Cue everybody
haven't
listening
been
to
drunk.
this, all 6 people, and going, me. I've never.
Yep, you can do that. Yeah, we're in a college. Now there's going to be 15 parties later on this week, and that's going to be the theme is lighting their fart because they heard it here, and now they know they can do it.
Yeah, you might not want to subscribe to that. So when somebody blows up one of those dorms or something, and you're now being liable for it,
Yep, I'm now the man.
we should caution: don't light your farts on fire.
Yeah, well, I do put a disclaimer out at the beginning of the show, so
Yeah, that is true.
and whatever you do, don't try hosting a radio show at home. I am a trained professional.
Yes,
Well, not really trained.
barely.
Not very
Yeah,
professional.
not very professional.
Truck driver in New Jersey took a wrong turn on Wednesday and found himself driving on the Atlantic City boardwalk. The driver of a tractor trailer described by police as nearly 80 feet long, 18-wheeler reportedly said he was following the directions of his GPS device and found himself on the boardwalk. The Ventnor Police Chief Doug Biaggi, not Mr. Biaggi, Police Chief
Mr. Biaggi.
Yep. Said it's something I haven't seen in my 31 years. We have seen vehicles up there. We've seen vehicles crashed up there. I've never seen an 18-wheeler that had been about 80 foot long. Biaggi, Mr. Biaggi, reportedly
I'm just
said,
imagining a really bad. So it's called like Muay Thai Kid instead of Karate Kid, and it's Mr. Biaggi.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Feng Shui
I'm just
Kid.
imagining
It's
a whole thing.
It's Feng Shui Kid.
Yeah,
he disarms bullies by redecorating.
I got a whole thing. I got a whole thing in my head right now.
Biaggi reportedly said the
Biaggi.
driver drove nearly 3 miles down the boardwalk before trying to turn around to realize the truck couldn't physically do it. Yeah,
There you go.
Biaggi.
That's the best part. That's the best part of the story is Mr. Miyagi.
I like the feng shui kid. He just
Feng shui kid, yeah.
Just
All he does is just goes into people's houses and just moves their furniture around slightly.
Sweep
Changes the colors.
Sweep the floor, Johnny. Sweep the floor.
Well, I think feng shui, that's not a martial art. Feng shui is like, color your
furniture decorating
and color your walls
for
and
certain energy flow in the household. Yes,
exactly.
Yes,
The feng shui kid, he shows up to your house and brings you like stone carvings of elephants
in the ocean.
Yeah,
in
the ocean.
Oh, while London sewers can get clogged with fatbergs made up of grease and diapers, which is always fun, it seems Switzerland's waste system is flecked with silver and gold. Researchers last year detected 3 tons of silver and 43 kilograms of gold in effluent and sludge from wastewater treatment plants, amounting to around 3 million Swiss francs. Yeah.
They literally crap gold in Switzerland?
Apparently in Switzerland, they are crapping gold. But before people start hunting in their drains for jewelry, the government study said the tiny particles were likely to be mostly from watchmaking, pharmaceuticals, and chemical industries, which use the metals for their products and processes. You hear stories, the reporter, I can't even pronounce his name, says you hear stories about an angry man or woman throwing jewelry down the toilet, but we didn't find any rings, unfortunately. The level of gold or silver were very small in micrograms or even nanograms, but when you add them up, it's pretty substantial.
Okay.
So, yes, they are crapping gold in Switzerland. That's what you get a Swiss bank account. That's what happens.
That's what it is.
Yeah, you're just crapping money.
Do they at least share that money with the people?
I would think. That's
or is this going to the government?
It's going to the government.
It's going to the government.
Yeah. That's what did I say? 3 million Swiss francs.
Yep.
Roughly $3.1 million.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of crap.
That is.
I wish I could crap gold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't we all?
Yeah. Isn't that what Rumpelstiltskin? No, he was spinning straw.
I really love the idea of the Rumpelstiltskin story being that he craps gold.
That's the
really
Swiss
prefer
story,
that.
Yeah.
Prefer that. Yeah, for sure. For sure, prefer that. Wow.
Yeah, as Batman See, are we still stuck on
Rumpelkrapskin?
Yeah, Rumpelkrapskin.
That's not what I want to say, but that's
yeah.
That's what I want to say is I can't say because we're on the radio.
Crapplestiltskin would work.
Crapplestiltskin. That's really good. That's really good. Crapplestiltskin.
Because it was the daughter. He put the guy put the daughter in the bathroom and told her, "You crap gold." Or
Crapplestiltskin. You're never getting out.
Crapplestiltskin showed up and saved her. But he tricked her because he's tricked. Crapples, you can't trust. You can't trust anybody. You can't trust anybody that's crapping gold. Nope. They're up to something.
Yep,
they're going to trick you some way.
100%. Same thing with Switzerland. I don't trust them. The Swiss. I don't trust them.
Yep. Oh, as Batman, Spider-Man, and Wonder Woman can attest, being a superhero is hard work. But it isn't all just saving lives and preventing the universe from imminent destruction. Shopping for job supplies also takes a heroic effort. You try to find a decent cape at Staples or Office Depot. There is one place where budding Iron Man interns and aspiring Avengers can get everything from mask to utility belt and even cans containing superpowers like justice, chutzpah, magnificence, immortality, and vengeance. It's called the Brooklyn Superhero Supply Store, and it's the only store we've heard of where you can test your cape with a wind machine before you purchase it. That's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So get out to the Brooklyn Superhero Supply Store.
There you go.
Wouldn't they just have called that a superstore? If ever there was something that was supposed to be called a superstore, that's it right there.
Missed opportunity.
Yeah, because I mean, the Walmart superstore, you can't get that stuff.
No.
Yeah.
It was a missed opportunity.
I mean, you're definitely not going to get justice, magnificence, immortality, and vengeance. Well, vengeance maybe at a Walmart. Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Certainly in the parking lot.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you get what...
yeah. I had an incident in the Walmart parking lot the other day.
I don't know if I'd want my vengeance paid in China,
we stopped, so we were like really in a hurry. It was my wife and I. We had our kids with us. We were like really just rushing around. We had lost power at our house. Just the whole thing. You know what I mean? We're just going through that process. So we pull into the Walmart parking lot. We go up behind a car. We open the door, and the guy who apparently owned that car thought that we hit his car And we absolutely did not. And he was a gigantic jerk about it. I'm not going to go through the entire conversation, but he was like a jerk. And I was just like, dude, we didn't hit your car. Like, I'm like in the car. I'm like arguing. I'm like, guy, I was right here. We did not hit your car. He goes, it's right here. And he points like a dent on the back of his car. First of all, he was driving like a 1998 Ford Windstar. I'm like, dude, it's been dented 500 times. Trust me, it was not us. It wasn't us. You don't drive a nice car. Relax.
That's usually the ones that get the most upset about their little crappy car being
I'm
dented.
like, dude, obviously we didn't hit your car. Like, relax.
Yeah. Oh, well.
We're reacting to tons of people behind me that I can't see.
Yes, well, it's former co-workers.
Okay.
Good people out. Good
They're
people
walking
out
by.
in the hallway.
I was like, I can't see anybody. I need a mirror.
Hey, you guys come in if you want tickets to Wiley's
somebody
this
get me a
weekend.
spoon.
I'll give you some tickets.
Somebody get me a spoon.
Because I like you people. Anyway, we'll do one more news story, and just because who doesn't like a good Jim Bakker news story?
Oh, okay.
Jim Bakker has had it with his critics.
Had it.
The disgraced televangelist is demanding that, quote, mean people in America who make fun of him stop watching his show, which is essentially an infomercial for his doomsday food mixed with predictions about impending apocalypse.
Yes.
He's warning that there will be dire consequences for those who continue to watch and mock his work. He said in a clip on Friday's show posted online by Right Wing Watch, if you don't want to hear it, just shut me off, especially you folks that monitor me every day and try to destroy me. Just go away. You don't have to be there. You don't have to hear it.
Yeah,
then
but
he fired off. Way. Then he fired off his warning. One day you're going to shake your fist in God's face and you're going to say, God, why didn't you warn me? He's going to say, you sat there and made fun of Jim Bakker all these years. I warned you, but you didn't listen.
God.
So Jim Bakker is calling down the wrath of God.
Is he one of the worst people in the world? I mean, really. I mean, just like, because I know the story with him, and it's just, he has to be one of the worst people in the world. I mean, just again,
up there,
you're already using people's fears and spirit. I mean, people's spirituality is so serious to them. Yeah. And you're already using that against them. You're using it as a weapon right. to make yourself money. So you're already doing that.
Which has been done
from
the history of time.
Right. But then to just take it a step further and to think that like God would utter your name to someone as a reason for, it's just that level of thinking is just absolutely beyond me, how you could be that self-entitled.
Yeah,
because that is the most self-entitled I could ever even possibly. I mean, that's like superhero levels of self-entitlement. They got that at the superstore.
He should be shopping at the Brooklyn superhero supply store.
Yeah, I mean that is like superhero level self-entitlement there. I mean, what just an awful person. Already, just again placating on people's fears and using it to make a buck. And
there's a lot of that going on.
Yeah, I mean that's an issue with religion.
Maybe that was a bad news story to end on. Now everybody's upset.
Right. Talk about the Jets again.
And all the Jim Bakker fans listening have turned off my show.
Oh, no.
And I've lost them now. I have lost that whole demographic.
Congratulations. Yeah. Congratulations.
I am so thankful.
Yeah, if Jim Bakker, if you're a fan of Jim Bakker, you just let's go ahead and turn it off. Just turn that bad boy off.
See, I like how he's selling doomsday supplies.
God,
I mean, that just cracks me up because when there's the rapture, isn't most of the good people supposed to go right away? Why would he?
Yeah, you couldn't get more stereotypical than a televangelist selling doomsday supplies. Right. They're not just selling doomsday; they're now selling supplies for it. I mean,
well, you got to prepare.
My Lord. Like, it doesn't get any, like, that's incredible. Again, that's like self-effacing, like comic book level villainry. I love it.
They'll buy these supplies. Yeah, exactly. They need them.
Yeah.
I'll make them think they need them. They'll buy them. Oh, anyway, I think that's all we have time for today. Don't forget.
It's 1:59. Guys, come out to Wiley's Comedy Club October 26th. Doors open at 7. Wear a costume. The movie that we are going to be watching, and when I say we, it's the Nicolas Cage Movie Review Hour. We're recording a live podcast at Wiley's that Thursday. Again, doors open at 7. The movie is Vampire's Kiss. It is an incredible movie. Seriously, watch the movie. Come on out. Wear a costume. Join us. It's going to be a fantastic night. We should be there from again, doors open at 7. I'd expect to leave, a little bit before 9. So we'll get you home with plenty of time to go to bed.
Fantastic.
Thank you, Don.
Yeah, and that is it. And of course, Mike Paramore is going to be at Wiley's Comedy Club this weekend. So gave away some tickets today.
Wonderful.
I'm going to start doing that from time to time.
Yeah.
Just randomly offer some tickets and people can call in and get them. But this week, Mike Paramore at Wiley's. Next Thursday, Nicolas Cage Movie Review Hour podcast going to be taping live at Wiley's, which is always fun.
Wonderful. And you know what? I could even say, hey, I have at least 2 tickets that I will gladly pay for if someone reaches out to Don and asks him for it.
There you
go.
go.
I'll get you 2 free tickets also to see my show.
Awesome.
So there you go.
All right. Thanks for listening. It's been another show. So
That's a good way to put it.
yeah, it's been another show, just like this past week has been another week, and that's about the best I can say about it. Fortunately, the show's always better than that. So
yeah,
it's always fun. All right. Thanks for listening. We will see you guys next week. Thanks for listening to the Life Podcast. Check us out on Eventide Entertainment's podcast network. Remember, if you want to listen live, we're on Wednesdays from noon to 2 p.m. on WWSU 106.9 FM, or you can always stream the show live at WWSU1069.org. If you have suggestions or comments for the show, feel free to email us at thelife1069@gmail.com.
Presence overwhelms me. The brutal presence overwhelms me.
Wallakalugi.